According to the Federal Reserve, U.S. credit card debt has reached a historical high of $1.17 trillion, with 67% of parents relying on buy now, pay later services just to finance the holidays. And yet, headlines continue to paint the picture of economic prosperity, raising the question, why is society drowning in debt to chase the illusion of financial prosperity? Throughout history, the instinct to compare ourselves to others has been essential for human survival. In early societies, it allowed individuals to learn from the successes and failures of their peers, fostering adaptation, cooperation, and the social bonds vital for collective well-being. Yet in the modern era, this instinct has been transformed into a tool of external validation. Societal pressures now push individuals to measure their worth against curated illusions of success. Social media only showcases highlight reels. Advertising promotes unattainable lifestyles, and cultural norms glorify material achievements over genuine fulfillment, all fueling a relentless pursuit of external markers of prosperity. While many creators have done an excellent job shedding light on the societal forces driving this divide, I actually believe solving the societal issue cannot be achieved through societal solutions alone, and instead demands a shift towards personal reflection and accountability, where I hope to share some of the solutions with my own personal experiences. By 2021, I had just completed my third year working at one of the largest financial institutions in the United States. My title was just a banker. I'd been working there since just a couple months after I graduated high school. During this period of time, I had become hyper-obsessed in solving the societal issues that we're discussing in this video. I was able to see firsthand people coming in with the super nice Suburbans, the super nice cars, the Rolex watches, the Gucci shoes, all of these things, having very little in their bank account, a ton of credit card debt, very disrespectful. And the people coming in with the beat up truck, the beat up car, just normal looking clothes, doing a $50,000 to $100,000 deposit, talking about their stock portfolio and all of these different things. I was able to see the inverse of the perception of society. And I think being that young, seeing the parents of the kids that I thought had the perfect life actually really not have much money and frankly be quite disrespectful, really shifted my perception. And so I thought, well, for me to be able to not do that, well, you do the inverse. So I'm going to save every dollar that I have. I'm going to work extra hard. I am going to learn how to invest my money. I'm not going to spend my money on anything that isn't absolutely essential. And in all reality, those are good lessons to have, and that's a good way to live your life. I just took it to the extreme. I think because I was able to kind of see the extreme, my solution was to combat it with the extreme. So what I was doing is I was creating a perception of scarcity so that I could propel myself to achieve the societal goals that I had placed upon myself. In all reality, not only was I trying to go through the societal hierarchy or through the corporate hierarchy, I was trying to do that societally. All I wanted was to be able to shake somebody's hand and say, this is my title, or to talk to someone and say, this is how much money I have, this is what I'm achieving, this is all of these things, because I thought that that was the solution. But like many of these stories, because I didn't have a why behind it, I just wanted to get rich because I thought that's what you were supposed to do. Well, I started becoming just absolutely miserable. As my bank account was growing, as my stock portfolio was growing, I was just floundering. I had no idea why I was doing anything, what the point of anything was. My friendships were starting to deteriorate. My relationship was deteriorating. I felt like I was never home. I wasn't participating in my own life. I was participating in the life I thought society wanted of me. I'll never even forget, it was Thanksgiving evening. All of my friends were gathered around a campfire. One of those moments where you hope that everyone is telling good stories or it's just relaxing. And what I was doing was just hammering them about saving money and about investing and about doing all of these things. And one of my friends called me out and said, "Do you ever do anything other than talk about money?" And my other friend said, "No, he literally can't." And I was so intertwined in that thought. I thought, this is why you guys won't be successful. So again, I'm trying to paint the picture of where it was that I was at this period of time. I was 21 years old. So one of my absolute greatest friends was becoming a brain surgeon, was playing baseball at one of the colleges here in Texas. He had just gotten engaged with his girlfriend, and his stock portfolio had gone past $200,000. So in many ways, he, in 1 year, checked all of the societal checkpoints that I thought that I wanted. And as I was becoming more and more dissatisfied with my own life, give me just a second. As I was becoming more dissatisfied with my own life, I was really pushing those frustrations onto others. So we were going to do a double date to celebrate him getting engaged. And I told my girlfriend a couple days before, just so frustrated at where I was in my own life. Again, at 21 years old, I told her, I don't know why we need to go have a dinner to hear about their perfect life. And I think that I knew at that moment saying that I wasn't really speaking like truth. I think it was more frustrations. But those words still came out of my mouth. So on the day of when we're supposed to have the double date, I get a call from someone that you only get a call from them when something horrible happens. And I get a call and I answer it. I'm at work, and I find out that my friend that we were supposed to do the double date with had just removed himself from this life. He was one of the most selfless guys that I will ever meet in my life. Someone that I truly did consider him like an idol, like a hero of mine, and I still do to this day. And in a moment where he needed someone, I was drowning myself in self-pity. This just shows you, in a very extreme example, how you never have any idea what anybody else is going through. So, in all reality, I should end the video here because it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing because you have no idea. A couple months after that had happened, what I had chosen to do was I gave myself a weekend to grieve. I told myself he wouldn't want me to continue to be sad, so I doubled down and I worked harder. I didn't even give myself a weekend, to be honest. It was maybe a day and a half. So I was doing another campfire with my best friend, and we started having a conversation that just triggered something in my mind. I went down this rabbit hole I couldn't escape from. I didn't know how to communicate it to him, so I'm just kind of falling psychologically. And what ended up coming from that was, I guess, a panic attack that led to anxiety that I couldn't shake for 3 months. Literally, sun up to sundown, I could feel it while I was sleeping. I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't go on social media. I had to scale back my work hours. I literally could do nothing. The only energy and ability I had was to go to therapy, sometimes 2-3 times a week for 2-hour deep sessions, and to just sit with myself and just like, I really couldn't do anything, breathe. During this period of time, what I began to realize was, ironically, as the universe would want to paint it out, this is when my net worth had hit the highest. I still haven't hit that same dollar amount. And I looked at it and I thought, I would trade every dollar in the world to feel better. The other realization I had was all of the issues that I had thought that I had had previously, I would do anything to have those again, because what I was experiencing was so bad that I was just kind of debilitated. I don't think that's right, but I was just frozen. And I was missing my friend. And I thought that what I was feeling, which I think is just normal grieving, I thought that I was going to end up following in his path. And so what it forced me to do was to focus on my life, because I wasn't going to abandon myself. I wasn't going to abandon those that I love. And so every single day, the goal was to just move a little bit more closer towards being myself. And so the lesson in this little example is that societally we think whatever car you have now, you're not successful until you get the newest car, whatever that is going to be, until you get the bigger house. You can't just buy a house. It needs to be a nice house. And you can't just drive a car, which is a luxury. You need to drive a luxury car. And it's not just that you went out and you had dinner. You went out to this place and had dinner. You didn't just get a raise. You got this raise or this promotion. Whatever you accomplish is never enough. On a scale from 1 to 10, if you're not hitting 8, 9, or 10 every day, it's a bad day. In reality, there's negative numbers too. I was at like -8 or 9 every day. For me to stay at an 8 or 9, -8 or 9, that was an accomplishment. If I could get to a -5, that was an accomplishment. My goal was to just get to 0. And what that shows you is that you just being alive, just doing what it is that you can, is enough. And money can't buy that. The societal material goods cannot buy that. If you can just wake up and do a little bit of something, that can be a victory. It's dependent upon what it is that you are pursuing in your own life. Anyway, I was able to break out of the anxiety, and to this day, I still have not had another moment of anxiety. And when I broke out of that, it was interesting because it was the day that I then went to Washington, D.C. for the 2022 New Year celebration at the White House. And it was just amazing to me to see all of these historical figures that I really now kind of worship, but at that time just admired. To see the monuments, to see these historical figures made it very clear that professionally, all I want to do is I want to provide value to others and to be in service of others and for this country. And whatever it is that I need to do, I'm going to do that. And so I came back to my job and I got more financial licenses. I kind of moved up because I thought the higher rank that I am, not because of what I can represent to society, but what I can do for society. I should be able to help people more. I very quickly realized that that wasn't the reality. But during those periods of times, instead of judging people based off of their bank accounts and their appearance, I started having genuine conversations. And what I realized was we all have the same issues. You can have $500,000, you can have $10,000 or $10. We all have the same issues. It's just the degree in which our little lever or our dial is magnified on that issue. We all have the demons that we're trying to escape from, and we all have vices that we use to flee from those. So when you have the ability to actually have a genuine conversation, you begin to realize, hey, all of this fake illusionary things that we have going on is just a cover-up from the same issues, the same concerns, and the same pursuits that we all individually are sharing. We all are more similar than you would think. But then I went to New York for going to 2023 for the New Year's parade, and that changed my life. I realized for the first time, I think that I had been so hyper-focused on my own life that I was just a magnifying glass on everything that it was that I was doing. And I felt like if I moved just the tiniest ripple or the tiniest move, it would make all of these ripples. And when you're in New York, you are swallowed by the city. You, in a bad way, in whatever way, you don't really matter anymore. You are just truly a just decimal point on the number sheet. But to me, I found that to be very empowering. And I thought that these are the people that I want to help. These are creative people. It was just truly a revolutionary moment for me. I left that and started my YouTube channel 2 weeks later. Just a couple months after that, I had quit my job with 500 subscribers because I'd finally hit the dollar amount that I was trying to save for to give myself the best shot at providing value to people in a way that I thought I truly could. I wasn't able to do it at a bank. They just wanted me to sell credit cards, and it was just ruining my soul. But this, I thought, if I gave myself a shot, I could do it. Making that decision, what it did was it created a new comparison cycle for myself, because now it was a professional comparison. I'd never had to do that at the bank because I did well there, and so there wasn't. I was also the youngest. I just didn't have anyone naturally to compare myself to. So when I became a YouTuber, which I don't call myself one, but when I became one, I started looking at other people and what it was that they were doing. But instead of trying to learn from them, I was thinking, I'm spending all of this time on these videos. I'm doing similar things. Why is it doing so bad? And so again, I chose to overcorrect with the societal solution. I thought, let's just do 3 videos a week. Let's spend even more time scripting. Let's spend even more time researching. Let's become even more of a robot. Let's become all of these different things. I think that the content was good. I never deviated from my authenticity, and I always wanted to provide value, but I sacrificed a lot of myself, again, for this illusion of something. I had some sort of goal, but I didn't, again, have the why. Why am I doing it? So then we go into 2020, the beginning of 2024. I am now at like maybe 1,100 subscribers, and my grandpa passed away. Now, to paint the picture again, I was so focused on my channel that when I got the text message that he has like an hour left to live, I looked at it and I went back to filming. I might pull up the video and post it on here. I start crying in my video because of what was going to happen with him, but I thought he wouldn't want me to deviate off this path. So once again, I didn't not just let myself, I gave myself a day and a half to grieve with my other friend. I gave myself 15 minutes to grieve with my grandfather. I went and I got a call from my mom, hey, he's gone. And then I went to the gym and I had dinner, and that was it. And I worked myself even harder. I mean, no sleep. In that month, I had more nights of less than 6 hours of sleep than I had over 6 hours of sleep. And I had equivalent to 4 hours of sleep as I did 8 hours of sleep. So, the end of January, I'm brushing my teeth and I cough up a massive glob of blood. And I just keep doing it. And I keep going to doctors. They just say I have walking pneumonia. I keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse for a week. I end up telling my mom, hey, I need you to stay with me because I don't know what is happening. And by February, what I would have to do is I'd have to go to the bathroom and take a shower about 4 or 5 times a day because the steam was the only way that I could breathe because my lungs were literally filling up with blood. So I went to the shower, and this was the first time that it didn't open up my airway. So I thought, this is the end. Truly. I was like, I'm going to die. And I've already shared this, so I do apologize for having to say this again, but I think that it's going to paint well into the story. So my realization, which is profound, for me at least, again, my history up to this point was pursuing everything for the societal expectation of financial success, and then for professional success, of providing value, for doing everything outside of myself. The very first thing I thought to myself was, again, I'm thinking that I'm about to die, was, I hope that my parents will be okay. And I wish I was more kind to myself. And that was it. And as soon as I said, I wish I was more kind to myself, I felt completely at peace. Thankfully, my mom was there and she was able to take me to the emergency room, found out that I had pulmonary embolism. I had 10 blood clots in my lungs. Some of you will think, was it from that? No, I didn't get it from that. It was from overworking myself, not giving myself enough sleep, and then found out I have a genetic disorder. I just have very thick blood that leads to clotting. Give me just another second real quick. So I come out of that. Worst pain I'd ever felt in my life. But now I have this realization that I need to be kind to myself. If I can't provide value to anyone, if I am not here, there is no point in literally in anything if I am not here, at least from my own perception of the world. So I start making different videos, and I think you can start to see a shift in the content. I'd only been out of the hospital for a couple weeks or so, and I was going to go spend time with my uncle in Denver for 2 weeks. So I had prepped a bunch of videos. One of those videos was about the labor market, one of the first ones that I had done on my channel about the labor market. And I'm sitting there in Denver. My channel was not performance-wise doing good. A video needed to come out. I'm looking at this video, and I thought, societally speaking, YouTube-wise, this is good enough. This will provide value. But I wasn't proud of the content. It didn't provide value to me. It wasn't to the level that I thought that I should be meeting for. It wasn't up to the standards that I believed that you all should have. So I decided to risk the YouTube performance. I didn't do a video, and I just thought about it for a week. I came back, I spent a week making it. That video ended up being the real reason no one wants to work anymore. Almost 1 million views. Completely changed the channel. I could argue that it's changed my life. And the reason was because I didn't dictate, I didn't deviate, I didn't change based off of anything other than what it was that I believed I should do for myself. Everything's been kind of boiling down to this point, is when you begin to focus on yourself, when you begin to realize what is it that you want to do in your life, when you have a professional and a personal goal, which I'm going to tell the personal goal in just a second, when you have these things, you can begin to shift the way that you look at life. When I have now I want to help people because I wasn't there to help my friend, and I want to be kind to people, and I want to be kind to myself because I have beat myself up my whole entire life. Well, I don't give a flying flip about what any car somebody has, what any house somebody has. It doesn't matter. What matters is, am I in service for the person in front of me? And can I do it to where I look in the mirror and I am proud of what I see? Social media especially creates this echo chamber of perception, very much like what your own internal beliefs do. One of the best ways that you can achieve success on social media is to realize the algorithm is your audience. The algorithm of life is your perception of the people around and the expectations around you. That is something that I still struggle with. I don't struggle with it as much because during this period of time after I'd done my videos, started to have some YouTube success, started to kind of find my own footing in life, started to realize I think I have some sort of very basic understanding of what this life is supposed to be about. I got blessed to be a part of this little boy and this little girl's life. 3 and 2 now, I believe, is their ages. I am someone that lives in my head. I fixate on work especially, and then achieving my goals. When I am with that little boy and that little girl, it demands my best for them, for someone outside of myself. I don't even have time to give my perception of anything because they need everything that I have. And they deserve it. They allow me to see that we are not just these consumerist, grummy little selfish people that hate each other. That is what society manipulates and changes us. And I still don't believe that's true. I think that we put this perception of ourselves to be like that so that people don't truly know what's inside, because we don't know what's inside. But when you get to spend some time with little kids and see how kind they truly are, how loving they are, their humor, the way that they want to play and they want to create, and the way that they think, and it's truly beautiful. And that gave me my personal goal of, I just want to be a father to be a father. What better gift than that? And so I want to provide value, and I want to be in service to others, and I want to be a father, which demands me to improve my character, to be selfless, to be caring, to be strong, to be a good husband, to be all of these other components that I'm actively working on. Well, I have so many targets and so many arrows to aim. It doesn't matter about all of these other games that we play. I don't think that we're living enough of a life to realize that we are wasting the time that we have in trivial things that do not matter. How many of us truly know what it is that we want to do? I don't know, I might be a politician, a writer on YouTube here. I might have to go back to the bank, and I might be a cowboy. It doesn't matter, because I have the basic components of what it is that I want to do in my life. And I will do everything that I can to make sure that I achieve that. But how many people have no idea? Because you consistently go through the checkpoints, miserable throughout the whole entire time, it isn't working, and so you go to a video of why it seems like everyone has more money than you. You don't actually want to know the answer, because if you wanted to know the answer, it would be how to make more money. But those videos don't go viral. Sometimes they do around New Year's, when we then quit on our goal 4 weeks later. We want to live a life of luxury. We want to look like we live a life of luxury rather than find a life that you feel fulfilled in. That's not the right saying, but that's how many of us want to live. And it's understandable, but the goal of my video is to see the societal issue, the societal solutions, but behind it is you. You are the one that sees the societal issue. You are the one that understands the societal solutions, but you have to live your life in the direction that you want to be able to achieve whatever it is that you set your target to, your aim to. But you have to put targets in front of you. You have to begin exploring, experiencing failures, experiencing defeats and successes, and love and heartbreak and all of these things that is meant for us, is the whole point of why we're here to begin with. You're not here to own a Lexus and some condo somewhere. I think that could be nice at some point. It's not the point, though. To just do a conclusion, I want to read this poem, but very lastly, before you don't get to see me anymore for the video, I will just say and ask any single person that's in service for people that appear to be rich, they are the worst at paying their bills on time, and they compare themselves to other people more than any other demographic. If you made it to this part in the video, and you're in service for for rich people, just comment down below the reality of what that experience is like. Truly wealthy people realize that the wealth comes from your journey, not from your riches, from the people that you get to experience your time with, from your loved ones, from your friends, your family, from the conversations you're able to have with people, and to be able to just experience the beautiful world that we are able to participate in. This is the last moment that you'll get to see me for this video. I'm going to read this, and then you'll have a Tyler Durden little speech at the end. Thank you all so much for your time. I hope that this was able to provide just another tool for you along with the other creators that have tackled this topic. Thank you all so much. Bye-bye. Go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and the ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexatious to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter, for always there will be a greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere in life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly to counsel over the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth, nature's strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fear are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be. And whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy.
I say never be complete. I say stop being perfect. I say let's evolve. Let the chips fall where they may. The things you own end up owning you. But do what you like, man.